The burden of the gods was far too heavy, the labor unbearably hard. Let mankind carry the weight of the gods. These words, inscribed in the ancient Atrahasis poem from Mesopotamia, hint at a truth so profound it would reshape our understanding of human origins. I spent years studying the ancient Sumerian texts, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and sacred writings from across the globe. What I've discovered connects humanity's earliest civilizations to an extraterrestrial presence that fundamentally altered our genetic makeup and set us on a path that we still follow today. In this exploration, we'll uncover how the Anunnaki came to Earth in search of gold, created humans as a slave race, and left behind a legacy of advanced knowledge, religious worship, and genetic manipulation that continues to influence our world. We'll examine the evidence hidden in plain sight, from elongated skulls to impossibly precise megalithic structures, and the cosmic timetable that may signal their return. Long before the pyramids pierced the Egyptian skies, before Stonehenge stood sentinel in ancient Britain, a race of beings descended from the heavens to earth. They were not gods, though our ancestors worshipped them as such. They were the Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came. Their story is etched in clay tablets carved in stone and whispered through the corridors of time. This is not mythology. This is not fiction. This is the untold history of humanity's creation and the cosmic legacy that shapes our world to this day. Imagine a planet in crisis. Nibiru, the homeworld of the Anunnaki, was dying. Its atmosphere was deteriorating, threatening the survival of an advanced civilization that had existed for hundreds of thousands of years. The Anunnaki weren't so different from us. In appearance, humanoid beings standing between 10 and 15 feet tall, with larger eyes and elongated skulls. Their civilization had mastered interstellar travel, genetic engineering, and technologies we can barely comprehend. But despite their advancement, they faced extinction. Their scientists discovered a solution: gold. When suspended as microscopic particles in their atmosphere, gold could repair the damage and save their world. But gold was rare on Nibiru. They needed to find another source, and quickly. Probes sent throughout the solar system returned with promising news. The third planet from the Sun, Earth, contained abundant gold deposits. It was a discovery that would forever alter the destiny of two worlds. Approximately 450,000 years ago, the first Anunnaki expedition arrived on Earth. Led by Anu, the king of Nibiru, and his sons Enlil and Enki, they established their first settlement in what would later be called Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The Anunnaki weren't prepared for Earth's conditions. Our planet's gravity was stronger than Nibiru's, making movement difficult. The atmosphere, while breathable, contained different elements. Disease and illness affected them in ways they hadn't anticipated. But the gold was here, deep within the Earth's crust, particularly in what is now South Africa. They discovered rich veins of the precious metal they so desperately needed. Mining operations began immediately, with the Anunnaki working the mines themselves. For thousands of years they toiled in the mines, extracting gold and sending it back to Nibiru. But the work was grueling, dangerous, and beneath their status as an advanced race. Discontent grew among the workers. Something had to change. The Ajiji, the worker class of the Anunnaki, finally rebelled. They destroyed their tools, set fire to their dwellings, and surrounded the house of Enlil, demanding an end to their suffering. Enki, the brilliant scientist among the Anunnaki leadership, proposed a solution: create a primitive worker, a being intelligent enough to follow orders but limited enough to accept its role. Using genetic material from an existing hominid species on Earth, combined with Anunnaki DNA, they would engineer a new being. In the House of Life, their advanced laboratory, Enki and the chief medical officer Ninhursag began their experiments. After many failures, they successfully created a viable hybrid, Adamu, the first human. The ancient Sumerian text described this moment in detail. In a clay vessel, the divine essence they mixed, the being in their image and after their likeness they fashioned. This mirrors the biblical account in Genesis. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." The first humans were sterile, created solely to work in the mines. But Enki, against the wishes of the Anunnaki leadership, secretly gave humans the ability to reproduce. This act of rebellion would have profound consequences. As humans multiplied across the earth, the Anunnaki became divided in their attitudes toward their creation. Enlil saw humans as noisy, troublesome creatures that had outgrown their usefulness. Enki viewed them with compassion, seeing potential beyond their role as workers. Then came the catastrophe. Nibiru's orbit brought it close to Earth, causing massive gravitational disruptions. The Anunnaki knew what was coming, a great flood that would wipe the Earth clean. Enlil saw this as an opportunity to rid the planet of humans once and for all. But Enki couldn't allow the extinction of the beings he had helped create. In secret, he warned Zeusudra, known in the Bible as Noah, of the coming deluge and instructed him to build a vessel to preserve life on Earth. The flood came, devastating the planet. When the waters receded, the Anunnaki were shocked to discover that humanity had survived. Rather than punish Enki for his defiance, they recognized that humans could help rebuild civilization. In the aftermath, the Anunnaki taught humans agriculture, animal husbandry, writing, mathematics, astronomy, and architecture. They established the first post-flood civilizations in Sumer, Egypt, and the Indus Valley, ruling as gods over their human subjects. The Anunnaki's influence on human development cannot be overstated. Every aspect of early civilization bears their imprint, from our religious practices to our scientific knowledge. Consider the sudden emergence of Sumerian civilization around 6,000 years ago. With no apparent developmental phase, the Sumerians appeared with advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, architecture, and writing. They possessed a sophisticated understanding of the solar system, including knowledge of planets that aren't visible to the naked eye. The ancient megalithic structures found worldwide, from the pyramids of Egypt and Central America to the massive stone platforms of Baalbek in Lebanon, bear witness to technologies that mainstream archaeology struggles to explain. How did ancient peoples move and place stones weighing hundreds of tons with such precision? The answer may lie in the advanced knowledge imparted by the Anunnaki. Even our religious traditions reflect this extraterrestrial influence. The concept of gods descending from the heavens, the creation of humans from clay mixed with divine blood, the Great Flood. These narratives appear consistently across cultures, separated by vast distances and time. Perhaps the most compelling evidence of Anunnaki intervention lies in our own DNA. The evolutionary leap from earlier hominid species to Homo sapiens represents a genetic puzzle that conventional science struggles to explain. In 2013, researchers discovered Homo naledi, an extinct species of early humans with brains only about 1/3 the size of ours. Yet they made tools, conducted funeral rituals, and displayed intelligence far beyond what their brain size would suggest. Then in 2020, scientists at the Max Planck Institute identified a genetic mutation unique to Homo sapiens, the TKTL1 gene, which allows for the faster creation of neurons in the human brain. This single amino acid change wouldn't naturally occur through crossbreeding or gradual evolution. It bears the hallmarks of targeted genetic manipulation. For 300,000 years, Homo sapiens showed little advancement. Then, approximately 50,000 years ago, something changed. Humans suddenly began to create, reason, and invent at an unprecedented rate. It's as if someone flipped a switch in our collective consciousness. According to ancient Sumerian texts, Nibiru's orbit brings it into our inner solar system, approximately every 3,600 years. If these calculations are correct, we may be approaching another celestial rendezvous. In 2015, Caltech researchers found evidence of a massive object deep in our solar system, a planet roughly the size of Neptune, with an extremely elliptical orbit that takes it far beyond Pluto. Could this be Nibiru, the homeworld of the Anunnaki? The implications of their return are profound. Would they come as benevolent teachers, hostile conquerors, or dispassionate observers? How would humanity react to irrefutable proof that we are not the pinnacle of creation, but rather an engineered species designed for servitude? The legend of the Anunnaki challenges everything we think we know about human origins and our place in the cosmos. It suggests that we are not merely the product of random evolution, but the result of deliberate genetic engineering by beings from another world. This narrative isn't just about our past, it's about our future. The knowledge left behind by the Anunnaki continues to influence our development as a species. The technologies they introduced thousands of years ago, from agriculture to mathematics, form the foundation of our modern world. As we stand at the threshold of becoming a spacefaring civilization ourselves, perhaps we're following a path laid out for us long ago. Are we destined to repeat the cycle, venturing to other worlds in search of resources? Will we one day create new life forms in our image, as the Anunnaki did with us? The answers may lie in the ancient texts, waiting to be fully deciphered. Or perhaps they'll come from the stars, when those who from heaven to earth came return once more. Until then, we must continue to question, explore, and seek the truth about our cosmic heritage. For in understanding our origins, we may finally comprehend our ultimate destiny. May the eternal light forever guide your path. See you on the next episode of Ethereal Lore.